not wearing the fucking thing. Screw the thing. I'm not wearing the thing. I'll practice with the thing. Screw the thing. Wow. Okay. So, no, I'm not. I saw a comment. I can't believe it. Quit making it about you. Quit flipping it back into you. I'm not doubting you. I'm telling you what to do. You don't know what to do. That's not doubt. That's information. That's informing. And I'm playfully prodding you. So relax with the doubt. You can't believe you don't doubt me. Please relax on the doubt. Who cares? So I'm telling you what to do because I need you to know because it's specific. So the and it matters to me more than anything on the planet. Where am I looking? Why am I looking at the goddamn projector? It matters to more than anything to me on the planet. So this is like I'd give up everything for this. So when I get to the lab, they might perform a cephalic isolation, which is the removal of my head. You don't have to watch that, but if you want to see it, it's okay. I'd want to watch it. I've seen it, actually. But I have held a head. They're very heavy. Heads are very heavy. Unusually heavy. Like, surprising. When you hold the head, when you grab the head, I've said this before, but when you grab the head, you are stunned at how much it weighs. It's ridiculously heavy. It actually is amazing because you hold it up your entire life, so you don't really feel that it would weigh that much. I mean, you're holding your head right now. It's fucking heavy. This head is a heavy head, and you're holding it up like it's nothing. So when you hold the head, you feel it. You feel as it should weigh. You feel it to be something like a gallon of milk, but it's not. Like 30 pounds, 35 pounds, 20, depends if you're a fathead or not, but 25, 35 pounds. So they perform the procedure and you can be there for that if you want. It'll just be at a lab. You can watch at a little bit of a distance for sure and help. I mean, like I was telling you, they have very few people that help. I mean, there's usually in the field, there might only be 2 or 3 people helping. So they might need you. And I would tell them, like I actually can give them lists of friends that are valuable. So that happens, and then they perform a procedure on me, which is they remove basically what they do when they take me from the hospital. They possess my body, and that's what your probably your most important role would be the you don't want to step too far into it because of the complexity of the politics and the legal aspect of it. But what the goal is to not have the hospital perform an autopsy on me. That's the main thing. That's the only thing that could really screw it up. So if you're at the hospital, like standing around with the doctors, that kind of thing is, I would say it's mentioning that to them under your breath, or like kind of like mentioning it a number of times but not commanding it, would be a good way of doing it, because they'll pick up on it. Alcor is going to say the same thing anyway, but it's good to prep them for that thought. More so towards the nurses and doctors. The main thing you want to talk to is really towards the nurses. The doctor's a little too removed, but the nurses are nurses, and they're built to care. I mean, the doctors are too, for sure, but they're once removed from the caring process. So the nurses, the charge nurse specifically, and anybody else involved, is really still empathetic to people, I believe. I'm sure the doctors are too, but let's just put the basics on the table. So those are the people we want on our side. And that's why I have that big tattoo on my chest. So the tattoo says, basically, I'm serious. Believe me, I'm dead, and I'm dead fucking serious. And that gets everybody on your side that's in the hospital. So then the coroner shows up. And the coroner is the is the most crystallized person in the place. The dude's ice on ice. He needs to legally protect the process. And autopsy is what it takes to manage, if I die and then you drag me out to the street to help them get to me quicker and there's a bunch of marks around my neck, I'm going to get an autopsy. Don't kick me when I die, all right? Don't start kicking me for your final satisfaction. They're going to perform an autopsy. Just leave me alone. So that's the main thing at the hospitals. Like, you have to really get them to not do an autopsy on me. So they perform the cephalic isolation, remove my head, removed all the blood out of my body. I look like a scary monster, and they take me to Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. You could possibly go with them to that area too. If they need the help, you can go for sure. And then they do the final procedure. It takes about 16 hours. You can't go in the emergency room for that one. And that's when they put me into liquid nitrogen and store me. And we're so close to Scottsdale, Arizona, usually we drive ourselves out there. But sometimes we fly. Depends on the procedure. And that would be good. So, yes, I want to be a TV dinner. And when I become a TV dinner, and if it's in front of you, please, I'm not doubting you. I'm telling you what to do. How would you know? Doubt you. So fragile. Like a little baby. Okay. Back to, I was reading comments. I got to one comment and I launched into a stupid story. I'm reading my notes, sorry. I gotta read a paragraph. I'm not comprehending it. Man, I got some motherfucking refining to do. This is a joke. How are things on the West Coast? By the way, Bob, I noticed you've ratcheted up on your verbiage. Okay, so gotta go to the top and say, I'm gonna end this quickly. All comments. See, I don't see all comments. Marina says Iran-Iraq war. I think she was referring to something. People kind of tend to comment on things as I'm talking about them. You know what they need to do because that happens? I think what they should do is Facebook should extract the words that are being said because they're transcribing the whole damn thing. So if they're transcribing it, if Marina says Iran-Iraq war, put the words before, 2 sentences before and after what she says, or maybe 2 sentences before. It would be cool, like tiny letters. Like, this is what was said in the podcast 2 sentences or a paragraph before Marina, or put a button that will allow us to expand what was said. That would be cool because I can't relate to some things. The Japanese use them. So I don't know what that's from. I mean, does it put a timestamp? Speak, reply, copy, hide. No. Yeah, that would be really cool. If you have to think about it, it's not that hard to figure out. We're all at higher risk. Oh, I read that yesterday. Basically, political people. Oh, yeah, I read that yesterday. Okay. But see, there were other comments. I'll get these printed out next time. This is not, dude. I'm just hitting these other buttons real quick to see if there are other ones that show up. No. Okay. Bye-bye. So I'll print those out. Extract what we already talked about and bring in the interesting ones. I was watching Brett Weinstein, one of my faves. And I wanted to turn you guys on to his Patreon. But the reason I'm using that as a bridge into a conversation is because I started a Patreon. Now, I'm not going to try to earn money yet. But I have to prepare. Because it's going to make sense when I unleash the monster, when I promote. So I think that's the way people earn money on the web now, is really people just giving money. I give $4 a month out every month to two different people that I really like. Sam Harris and Brett Weinstein. Boom, $2 out of my account every month. And there's nothing better than that. I mean, there is nothing better than everybody giving everybody else they like a quarter. I think they should. I mean, Sam Harris and Brett made the minimum you can give is $2. I thought, man, dude, make it a quarter. I mean, make it anything. Let people give like tiny amounts. You'll get more people giving. I don't know. It might just be too insignificant at that point. But I've always been interested in micropayments. So that's been done. So we have a Patreon page. And I don't have anything on there really. But I'm going to place things on there eventually that aren't here on the show. That's kind of the trick. You make people pay for shit that they can't see here for free. Like special shit. I don't know. That's one of the ways to do it. So I'm not going to do that anytime soon at all. That's way off in the distance. That's not happening until I promote my show and stuff. Until I start going out and getting guests on from that. I don't know if you remember, but I have a big list of talent agencies to go to. That's all going to happen. So just a matter of time. No rush. So I wanted to turn you on to Brett Weinstein's Patreon. And it's funny. The reason I wanted to turn you on to that is because he has what might be, and I'm going to get a link for it later. I couldn't find it right before the show. But he has a monthly roundtable that happens of a bunch of brilliant people that get together. And it's kind of along the same lines I was talking about. A very loosely formed discussion group. And I don't want to say discussion group because that sounds like a lame forum on a website. Ooh. So this is not what I'm talking about, but I want to go since I'm a Patreon to him or a patron since I'm a patron, I am allowed to watch this video, this group discuss current topics. And so I really want to see it. I want to see if it lines up with what I was discussing with you guys regarding the lack of smart guidance, especially in times like this. So I want to see I'm going to go there and watch it and report back to you to see if it's near what I was talking about, because that would be wonderful. If he was the one that was doing that, and he's been doing it for quite some time. This is way before COVID. He's been doing it for a long time. So I'm kind of excited because if Sam Harris is my number one dude. All right. Because of many reasons. The sharpness of his tongue and the way he writes. I've read all of his books, like literally read them. And just the dude is a knife. And so, but I like all of the things he says. I agree with, most of the things he says. But Brett is much more tuned in with where I would go. Sam isn't somebody I would find myself mirroring, but Brett, I see similarities. Sam, I just appreciate Sam for who he is. I wouldn't be similar to him, but Brett is like, Brett's a partner. I need to partner with him. I need to be his other half. He's married, but I'll be his other half. So he's in my sights for sure. Brett Weinstein is in my sights more than any other dude on the planet. I'm getting a lot of if I say more gay things, my whole audience base is going to be gay. By the way, okay, that's what I'll do. Well, I can't do that either. I didn't print anything. Where's my fucking list? I know I made that list. Didn't I? I'll do it tomorrow. Everything's tomorrow. That's all of my famous international fan base. That's a Morrissey song. Sorry. That I want to read all their names. They're from everywhere. I mean, goddamn. I will not be able to pronounce most of the names. We're talking, like I said before, Ghana. Anywhere like that. It's crazy. So, I showed you some pictures yesterday, but we'll go through it to give respect. So Brett and his Patreon launched me into me and my Patreon. So that's cool. Anyway, and begging is the way of the future, I think. I think it's generally, you know, I have a way to adjust the general process of making money, earning money. It isn't really aligned with this, which is I do something you like and you give me something in as a prize. Okay, that's one. That's a nice thing, but it doesn't have reach, or it doesn't have scope. It's very specialized. So it's very good, but it's very specialized. And the free rider issue that can be attached to that, a free rider is just a person that's sucking the blood out of that for free. So that's like, you know, that's all of us basically. We're all free riding on the web, just grabby, eaty, looky, don't pay, happy, go sleep, that's I do it again, it's okay, yeah, I like that, book. So that's not best for everybody, but the way the web works is kind of that way. So, and this applies to people. This is not something that is going to be only for individuals who do a podcast or something of production value. It has to do with a lot of people, the micropayments and getting money from people that appreciate what you're doing. Now, that's going to expand to some degree in various ways. It's not going to be the end all be all. And that's what my next subject I'm talking about is what I'm going to say is that we make money by doing things for people. Oh, the iPad almost fell on the ground. We do things we make money by doing things for people. They pay us and then we do something. Well, we do something and then they pay us. Whichever order of action happens, I don't think it matters too much. It does, subtle things matter like this, though, in this, what I'm about to say. What I'm trying to say is that it would be wonderful if we could develop a different way of getting paid. It would be an interesting proposition that would. It's very difficult to remember. What you do is you are paid by people. God damn it. You're paid. You do things for people And then they pick. God damn it. Dude, every time I try to describe this thing, it's very wispy because it's a simple flip of the entire thing. Basically, you're doing things for people out of, you do things before you get the job. I mean, it's going to lock in. Just give me a second. If the world operated this way, oh man, people would be, I'm going to say things and they're not going to make sense. People would be knocking at your door wanting to do things. Fuck. It's a flip of the entire monetary system. It's a different, it's a process of appreciation rather than a process of labor. It takes the entire labor market, the way in which we make money, the negative aspect of making money, and it turns it 180 degrees as a gift-giving process. When you work for somebody every day, you do it in a different way. You're doing it for a different reason, even if it's loading lumber onto the truck, or even if it's sweeping the floor, or even if it's, second hand next to the president. Whatever it is, there is a different way that the person comes at it. And I'm sorry I can't remember what that way is, but it's a gift-giving process. And it has legs. And the reason it has legs is because it doesn't require large-scale change. To introduce even a Bitcoin is difficult. So this is something that is simply, nothing really changes in society except the way that we view it. People still get the same money. They still do the same job. There would be some shuffling. But once I lock back in on what the kernel of this thought is, I'll be able to explain it. But it is a different way of looking at work. From what I remember, it makes people run around wanting to do work rather than the drudgery of work. So that coincided with Brett's and Patreons and all of that stuff, making money. And the way the world's going right now, it's just, it's going to change. It's not going to change. Nothing's changing. We're going to go right back into where we were, going to the movies, whatever. But the way it's going to be interesting to dude, the way, the only thing that makes me concerned about everybody being, if they said, okay, we're cool, the only thing that concerns me is the vast majority of fear that everybody has. And I appreciate it, but the overkill is amazing. And so it just stuns me how hardcore we get. I guess that's fine. I'm a risk taker, so I shall not judge the mean, the medium, the average, because I'm not in that world. So I'm like, I'm more likely to die on the plains of Africa. They're more likely to be survivors. So I'm not in an advantageous position, and I'm laughing as the tiger jumps on me. So, I don't get the last laugh typically, but I get the first laugh. I get the motherfucking first laugh. Believe me. And the middle laugh. I don't get the last laugh. Usually. I mean, something I do, but that shit, in theory, you're going to play this whole thing out. So nothing's going to change until I started seeing everybody. And the volume of people that are just so concerned. That drive with their masks on, that walk from the car to the grocery store with their masks on, that are walking by themselves down the street in the middle of nowhere with their masks on. There's people, how Are you going to? You just basically, we just worried everybody. We shook the fucking planet. and rightfully so to a certain degree, but I guess this is the way this species works. This species freaks the fuck out. This species goes a little extra. That might be good. But here I saw there's one person in America that would be able to do it. I don't know why it's him, but he looks reasonable. That's probably why. It's that Indian doctor on CNN. That dude, Gupta, I don't know what his name is. He's a good-looking Indian doctor. He's got a good-looking solid face. You wouldn't mind him being your doctor. He does that stupid face, though. I hate that. He's like half politician. He does that stupid ass, that face, that he's practiced, that damn, I'm concerned face, whatever that face is, and he does it so often. He just on command, and I'll admit it's satisfying when I see that face, but it's so cartoony. He does it so well. He does that, not pursed lips. It's that discerning concerned or whatever that face is. It has a name. And so he came on the TV or the internet, and I watched him basically rip his mask off and go running without his mask. And he told everybody how to do it. That's the dude that's going to say it's okay. That's the dude for sure. Because for some reason, he's trustable. There's something about him. I don't know him totally that good, but I know him enough. I mean, I've seen him. We all see him a lot. Whoever he is, whatever his name is. Sundu, Gunta. I don't know what his name is. Because the other people, I mean, you got Fauci and Trump and the governors, the mayors. I mean, these people are anywhere and everywhere. And again, like yesterday, they don't have a bit of reason. There needs to be I think they're missing a particular point. And I don't want to call it transparency, but it is it's kind of like what I was saying about Marina's comment. I read the comment, Iran-Iraq war, and I say, well, what else was said about before that so I can understand in context what the fuck's going on. If, when we have, and I know it's happening fast, but these people need to tell us why. They tell us some whys, but the info isn't satisfying. It's the probably the only change that, I mean, there are some changes that are going to happen. I mean, change happens in the world. I think that's the only thing that gives us time. So there, I did that face, that Supta face. Fucking guy. There are the volume of wonder is so fucking high. If China's got its own fate, America didn't take the lead, that's okay. This is everyone for himself kind of thing anyways. I don't know if you'd want to take the lead in something like this. You're too busy with your own. This is like human race. This isn't like borders. But nonetheless, we didn't take that position. China's God damn. It's like you can't. You look at the corrupt countries of the world and you think, which one was the last one that became good? I couldn't think of one. I gave it 2 minutes worth of thought, which isn't a lot. So there's no bragging rights there. So basically, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do have that wispy thought was, it gave me all it gave me was the early list of everybody. You got China, you got Russia, you got Mexico, you got the Philippines, you've got Venezuela, you got, name a corrupt nation that has turned itself around. And the reason I'm asking that is, do they? And I'm talking about Russia and China. I'm talking about big fucking countries. You're talking about different countries in a country, kind of country. Big country. Like the band, big country. Big country. So, Mexico's smaller, deeply ingrained. You got African countries that are just off the chain. South America, same way. So, I mean, those are tribal more so. And, you have to define what's tribal and what's corrupt. We look at things through the lens of this country, and they see it like, what are you talking about? We tribes, what? So I'm not talking about tribal situations. I'm talking about failed government, or government that's kind of taking from itself. Russia's a good example. China's confused. I mean, we have a communist country that's capitalistic. These guys are schismatic to the max. They are, I want to control you. Free market. Everybody gets a free market. I want to control you. Free market. Go ahead and do it. I'm watching you. Go ahead. You go ahead and invent. I want you to invent. I'm watching you. I own half of your company. Go ahead and invent. Go ahead. You get creative. Do something. Oh, yeah, that's good. Be creative. Yes. I want to watch you. Okay, be creative, but I want to watch you. Yes. Go ahead. Draw the picture. Let me watch you draw it. Oh, that's not good. Don't draw that like that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Good. Okay. Schisma. Shattered. Too large. Forever town. Zillion years. You gotta look at China's capability of success. Every 1,000 years. It's very. They don't. They want to. They've held on to the control. It's amazing how a country can be so good at that. Very strange. And a large country. I mean, your police mechanism has to be fingered out way out into the middle of nowhere. And you've seen programs on China. There's this field, and there's a person in the field, and then there's an officer walking up to that person, questioning them. They have, and this guy lives in the same town that guy. He doesn't go anywhere else. So that's a very strange way of life. And it makes you want to go to war. That'll make you want to go to war. It's like, because you get to a point where you're like, that's part of us. We are the organism. Chinese people and us, same organism. That is us. And war exists because of that. We are an organism. We want the best for our kind because we have to. We have to. It's based on surviving and in the process of everything that includes our gene pool. It's like super sex, really. You have sex with one person, you spread your personal gene pool, but when you get mad or laugh at or ridicule the rest of us, you are hoping for improvement. These are processes that occur based on improvement. They're not based on your own personal laugh. Look at that dork. No, you're telling him he's a dork. Whatever. And when we correct each other through any means necessary, we ratchet the improvement. Sitcoms are the best version of that. Jerry Springer, the utmost. This show. Whatever. The things that we do to highlight caca so as to not do it again are endless. And that goes all the way to watching a whole country shit on the world and go, dude, just, please, not China specifically. Anybody. I mean, genocide is when we put our hand down. That's fine. That's good. That's excellent. It's unfortunate it takes that much, but we understand freedom because we don't want to apply regime change or anything that's similar based on what we don't like. So we wait for death to occur. Okay, mass death. It's a good start. But then you have fuckheadhood. You know? And you have North Korea trap hood. And you know, biologically, it's incorrect. When you take a rag or a sheet, a black outfit, and you put it over the whole female form, including their face, you are incorrect, my friend. I'm sorry. This is not something that we are made to do. Sorry. You can base it on time frame. And these are my people. All right, these are my people. My aunt does it. It's crazy. It's not good. Sorry. This is we cannot you cannot scream culture is right because not all culture is right. Especially when it doesn't catch up. And it could be simply time that is making the issue more intolerable. Because everybody around knows better except that knucklehead. And we can't do anything about them. You know, I was hoping the web was much more disturbing. You know, because I might say all night long, I don't want things to change because of the coronavirus. But the only reason I don't want change because of the coronavirus is because I want us to affect ourselves. I don't want an outside entity to affect us. I don't necessarily have a problem with an outside entity affecting us, but I'm not looking for that. I prefer, well, I'm being hypocritical because the web is an outside entity. I think it might just be the fear of it all, the fear of people. I don't like people changing because of fear. It's too problematic. I like people changing because of the internet's exposure to ourselves to modulate error and good into the betterness of all. But I don't like fear-stricken change. The outcomes of that are overreactionary, backwardhood, and restrictive. And none of those things are helpful with the word progress. And I swear, I'm getting really upset about the time we're living in. I mean, we can't have a 9/11 and a COVID and all the other shit in between. These things are fucking backpedalers. Elon needs to stop with the rockets and start with the brain. We need to get the fuck out of here. Mentally. These people are fucked. This world is. We need to, and everybody can come. Nobody needs to stay. We need to dive into smarter. Obviously, we suck. Look at us. We're sitting here confused about a pandemic. I'm confused about my camera. I'll give you my blurry shot. Okay. We're sitting here confused about a pandemic. I don't know how to do this. We have to rush towards change and improvement. This quagmire is embarrassing. It's going to have to be the smarty pants. They're doing it already, okay? It's already happening. So I'm not talking about anything new, but I'm definitely not talking into your ear that's heard the word AI a million times and it glosses your eyes over. This is not. It is of that ilk, but it isn't what you think. So we need disturbing technology. The type of technology that I would say would exceed the use of drugs. It would be so stunningly different, but beneficial. It wouldn't be a drug. It wouldn't be a high. It would be something that changes you completely. It's just the risk needs to be higher. The risk taking needs to be higher. But it needs to be isolated somehow. You just can't isolate biology. Watch Jurassic Park. You can't isolate. You can't isolate biology. Biology's too good at surviving. I would love it if we can isolate a group of humans and just gene pool the fuck out of them. We just need we need AI to tell us what to do, basically. That would probably be the best thing. Reinforced learning is getting to places that are we've approached a region of computation and software that have finally delivered us surprising results. And I think that probably the best version of that would be the AlphaGo and AlphaZero. I think Alpha Zero was the big one, where they play this kind of Chinese checker looking board game, much more confusing and complex than chess. Computer played a guy, of course. The computer learned how to play it by itself. It wasn't told it was a game. It wasn't told anything. And what it did was it learned how to win the best person in the world, which you would expect. But it learned moves that were so stunning to everybody on the planet that knows Go, the game Go, that it invented moves that everybody knows were, oh, I would never do that. Jump the key to the other, but you can't do that. You know, some stupid thing. And we know that piece of software, that black box, machine learning in general, was not thinking, was not conscious, but it exposed a piece, a small piece of what a machine, as even as stupid as that piece of junk that was super impressive, that completely vapid piece of zero, all it does is play Go. I mean, it's a little more impressive than that, but really, if you isolate the part of the gameplay where it's inventing moves that we've never thought about and winning based on those, it gives you a tiny piece of understanding as to what it looks and feels like to be to witness a machine that's better than you. That's something. And we're not talking about some robot. I mean, it's impressive when robots move and do things repetitively. That's another form of impressive qualities that machines have. So you have to take those slivers, robotics. Look up ABB or look up Kugel. Any of those companies. I mean, they have robots that are super fast, super strong, so accurate, getting cheaper. I almost bought one. I have my eyes on a couple, actually. I want a big industrial one for in here. You can get it for like a couple grand. So if I save some money, I want to get a big, scary industrial robot. Put it right here. I don't know where. I don't know. They're very dangerous. If you turn them on, you can't even be near them. So you have to take these slivers of capability and you add them up, and you'll see where it's going to go. The process of improvement. I'm not talking about us being AI yet. I'm talking about the smarts of us applying our brilliance to the computer and then the computer taking it from there. Like neural networks now are so complex that the way they train them with training sets, they call them, 1 million pictures of a bird, and the rule set that you put in the computer with the 1 million pictures, you basically put the rule set in 1 million pictures. The rule set's complex, but it's like back propagation, reinforced learning, all that caca. And the machine does it when it's applied. There's no algorithm. The algorithm is the fuzzy logic. It is the neural network. So you have this, we have for the first time a machine, or not for the first time, but for the first time in a state of wonder, not rote You have when chess when Gary Kasparov was beat in chess, you have rote knowledge. The machine was programmed to do this. But the machines that are doing it now are reasoning in their own particular way. Don't take that too literally, or take it hyper literally. They're reasoning based on their internal rule set that's not hard coded and not specific. It's inventive inside of itself. And to the degree nearly that we can't understand what's going on. So we have machines that are stunningly surprising, capable of beating us in a few narrow points. They already can beat us in memory. They already can beat us in processing speed. Okay, there's many things they can already beat us on, but those aren't the hard, those are the easy parts. The hard parts are the decision making, the complexities of the world. And so you just really see these things happening, and you want it to happen to your fucking TV. You see these things happening, and you go, hurry up. But you can't make them hurry up, because if we get a bunch of machines in stock that are amazingly brilliant, that can think things through, we have to vet them. I mean, they're going to be making decisions for us. So I understand the slowness. But the things in which we occupy ourselves, the fact that we're spinning on a ball in a universe that we know nothing about, or we know everything about, but we don't know anything of why or what. We just know we're in a machine. And we don't pay a fucking drip of attention to any of that. We walk around jacking off to porn and looking for bitches and getting that alcohol and hitting that pipe and fucking going to work and hugging my girl and where's the dog and buying that new outfit and sucking dick and there's that car and I fucking want a leather interior and where's my hat and goddamn ants are everywhere and fucking it's hot. Man, we are worthless. We don't do anything. Not like a sliver of us are doing it. We don't do anything. We, you, and me. I would love for us to do very valuable things for us. Brett, when I talk about Brett a lot, that dude is on the same page when it comes to a paradigm shift in the thinking of humanity. The ability for us to take our lives and run with it. To create a fever of excitement that takes a hold of us and changes everybody due to its obvious beauty and killerness. Just, it's so good. And from child to a grandpa, from transsexual to Mr. Universe, whoever. I'm just trying to cover from Muppets to fucking butterflies. No, it has to be human. There is a formula that can animate the planet out of its sitcom. We need to launch out of this sitcom that, we're like drug addicts. We just like to get the easy shit and look like a look. Let me see that more. I like a look like a lot. Let's see that. Where's the cake? On that. That's what we're like. Let me look at that a lot. Okay, there we go. That's good. Oh, that's drug addicts. Oh, look at that one. Look at that. I watched 5 hours. The fucking drug addicts. They consider addiction when it harms your life. Well, if you're sitting around not doing anything, you're an addict. And this doesn't work for everybody, of course, but it needs to be to the level of just complete mental takeover. The beauty and strength and the cohesive nature of it, what it does to us towards ourselves, and what it does to us towards the universe and everything in between, has to kind of all just fit perfectly. Because it has to have that yummy stuff while you watch Netflix. It has to have that in there. That can't be not in there. We have to enjoy ourselves. We can't be all working. Okay, go on, still working. Okay, go to sleep. Okay, working. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about enjoying ourselves, but enjoying ourselves, saving ourselves, enjoying ourselves, saving ourselves. Sorry, I had to say it twice. I thought I had something better to say, but you can't say that better. I'm sure you could if you thought about it enough. But there is a way. It's not like when aliens come and then we all become closer, but it's near that. We're all drug addicts. That's the problem. We have a process of simplehood that everybody is capable of not dealing with. The beautiful thing about us is that we're all capable of great stuff to any degree. Any degree. You don't have, believe me, I'm no genius. But, anything you can do that is of value toward the understanding that we're on a ball floating in a universe that you happened to arrive on and that you are going to leave soon. You should be very concerned. And that expiration date should be unacceptable. And that should motivate everything in your life. That expiration date is not correct. It's an error. And you need to change that error. That is what this podcast is all about. I should end it right now, right? That's a good note. Okay, bye.